Hey guys, Dev Horn here at WeBuyHouses.com and welcome to Cash Offer Masterclass episode 4. We've got a lot planned in the coming months, so we really want to build a community that you guys can join and we can work together on deals that you're finding out there, help you hone your skills. I did want to tell you we have launched a website, Cash Offer Masterclass, and if you go there, there's really two things you'd want to do here right now. Get the calculator. If you just fill out the form there on that page, right there, we will send you the cash offer calculator. And it's a great tool. I think as you see us use it on the videos, you'll want to have access to that so you can use it yourself to evaluate your deals. And also, we'll be featuring, obviously, the videos as we post them. This is a new effort for us, but we really wanted to kind of create something where we could share our knowledge and information with a broader group of people, and that's why we're here for you. Just a couple more things then. Obviously, we have the WBH Dev. That's me, Dev at WeBuyHouses.com. And we have the Cash Offer Masterclass channel, but it's WBH Dev. So if you just search Cash Offer Masterclass in YouTube, you find it, no problem. Same thing online. But be sure to go to the website, click on Get the Calculator, fill out the form, and we'll send you the calculator, and you can begin to use it yourself. You can change the logo, do whatever you wish once you have it. So with that, we're going to jump into episode 4. We've got our next victim. It's a house in Wichita Falls, Texas, again from Fazio Real Estate Solutions. Fazio is a great wholesaler, has a lot of deals all over North Texas, and they provide excellent information, which helps us to do this educational stuff together. Because it's a real house, real pictures, a real deal, real dollars, and so it allows us to evaluate and learn together. If you have any interest, if you're a cash buyer, a serious cash buyer, you have money, you're looking for properties in North Texas, reach out to Fazio Jade Vaughn there at 214-646-9646 and see what they got going on. So let's jump into this. As usual, I did a little pre-research, but not too much because I want to show you guys what we're doing. We take the address and, obviously one of the first things you want to do is go to Zillow and see what the Zestimate is. The Zestimate is often considered to be the after repaired value. In other words, Zillow doesn't know what this house is like, doesn't know what repairs it's needed, and it's valuing it based on comparable values of the neighborhood. And that's why it usually is pretty close to what we would call the ARV. I also use a site called Property Radar. I can't show you that because it shows all the personally identifiable information for the homeowner, and we can't show that, don't want to show that. But they have the property at 189. So let's just jump back and see. Fazio, the wholesaler, says 216. And you see this quite often, to be honest. Wholesalers are always optimistic on the ARV, and then, they're optimistic on both. They give you a big number on ARV and a small number on, repairs or whatever. And so you have to do your own numbers, and that's what we're doing here. And they give us so much great information to do it also. So in the calculator, we've already put the address, the square foot, and then basically what I did in advance is I took the 189, divided it by 2012, and found that's $94 per square foot, which is dang cheap out there in North Texas. If you're looking for a place to move that's under $100 a square foot, there's not many of them. And so now what we're going to do together, we're going to look at the videos and pictures, and then we're going to come in here and assess our repairs. And so let's do that right now. Let's see, there's a button. There's always a button. Now, last time, if you've been watching my videos, the movie was too loud. And the other thing is we saw the movie after looking at the photos. I think I want to look at the movie first this time. Yeah, hang on a second. Let's go full screen. And here we go. All right.
This way?
Yes, sir. My husband, the doors.
Is it this?
So right away, we're looking at
childproof,
things like
so.
the flooring,
Let's lock myself out. There we go.
the walls, moldings, all that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of be looking at that.
The kitchen.
Tile floor.
I moved that chair so you could just walk around.
Sweet.
Kind of cluttered, but not in horrible condition. I mean, it could be rent ready in a couple of weeks.
No, we're good.
No, I'm not going to mention the bear. The floors obviously have to be redone. The whole thing. Floors, walls. This is a full cosmetic. When we get into the bathrooms, that bathroom's definitely going to need full cosmetic and probably some plumbing. Who knows? Okay. Okay, not that bad. Not that bad. How do I get out of here? I do it like that. So let's jump back in here at the photos. Yeah, the photos allow us to go look at things like texture. Man, the walls. I don't know who did that work. They got popcornish like things on it. It's basically all the surface. So we really don't need to dwell on it. All those walls. Let's go to the next one. I do like that they took good quality photos, and what's that allow us to do is to zoom in and look at some things. Look, you can see separation in the sheetrock in that wall. Probably some indication of foundation and shifting, and then you'll also see with foundation often cracks where the wall and the ceiling meet. All right. You got a lot to look at, so I'm not going to dwell too long. This, I'm not sure exactly what that is. I don't think it's a kitchen because there's no sink. And popcorn ceilings. Popcorn ceilings and a really rough texture. Let's look. I can't see that much. Kind of got some cool interior things like the stone fireplace and the beams. That flooring looks, the image is not good enough for us to see the quality. Let's move on. There's your actual kitchen. Yeah. Remember, we walked through there, right, in the video. So I was thinking that's a pantry, but it's a vented door, so it could be some mechanical room. They're just a real mixed bag of flooring. So obviously, I think you'd go through this thing and refloor it. When we think about repairs, there's two ways we think about it. One, are we trying to get it rent ready, or are we trying to get it like beautiful? And so two different levels. And we don't really, I don't dwell on that too much as we talk about repair costs. We're kind of just trying to get it back to ARV. We're not really talking rent ready or beautiful, but I would just, all the surfaces here need to be hit. Look at this, some issues back here. Yeah, some countertops are got to be replaced. Cabinets are pretty bad. In a full rehab, we would replace all these cabinets, all countertops, sink, backsplash, appliances. This is a full rehab. Like, not a horrible house, but a full rehab. And so that's that dining area. Obviously, people don't want wooden paneling anymore. So in a rent-ready situation, we would paint that white or gray or something like that with some white trim, maybe, But if we're trying to make it beautiful, we would replace that surface. There's that beam again. All right, we're looking outside. One thing that we should be doing as we're looking at these photos, I really want to see the mechanical stuff, like that inside AC heater furnace stack. I want to see that outside condenser unit, so that we can evaluate those things. And I often feel like if they're not shown in the photos, it's because they didn't want to show us that. Perfect. Here, this is what I was talking about. Okay. It definitely has a water heater. It's got a pan, no drain. This is very typical, but at least it has the pan under there. So if we had to deal with code, we could put a drain off that pan without having to remove the water heater. So I'm going to guess that works. Looks okay. There's a pantry. I'd bet that was the water heater as we came into the kitchen. Remember, I saw that vent. There's that vent on that door. So that's what that was. The pantry is, I guess, around the corner or something. And yeah, there's stuff missing. What is going on up there? Let's look at that. Huh. I think it's a hole. You get a hole in your ceiling. Okay, and the bathroom's not horrible. I mean, the tile is horrible, but it's done in vertical horizontal stack, which is interesting. I mean, it's just an interesting older, probably in the, I think this house was built in 80, might be from then. There's the bare room. And again, flooring, we're just assuming flooring's all got to go. Oh, brother, and more popcorn. That person right there is looking up and going, oh man, look at all that popcorn. Popcorn, rent ready, you leave it. To get it beautiful, you got to smooth that ceiling out, retexture it. I'd retexture all these walls. I mean, to make this house really nice, everything needs to be retextured. Here's our inside stack. This is very important to see this. Okay, and again, it doesn't look bad. By the way, in my houses, when I replace stuff like this with a Sharpie, I write who replaced it and the date on the devices, and then later on I can remember for that house who worked on it when. I'm going to say this actually looks okay. I'm guessing that's a gas line. Yeah. Yeah, look, I'm not an expert. I just know if I look at it, if it's a POS or not. Looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and say that looks pretty good. The mechanical might be better than the, cosmetic on this thing. And sometimes you see that people didn't really, or that it was always a project they were going to finish. It never got finished, but if your water heater goes out or your AC goes out, you got to fix that. So sometimes you see that. Here's that master, horrible texture, 45 years of paint on that wall. Typical. Not a big deal, but it's a lot. It's when you have to do every surface, it's a lot. It'd be nice when you come in and you don't have to do the ceilings. You can just do walls and carpet or walls and vinyl or whatever. That's a big closet. I wonder if that really is a closet or if it was some other room reused. But anyway, attic access, so much popcorn. Okay, this bathroom, complete redo. This house is pretty rough, my friends. I mean, it's like I said, it's not, there's probably people that would live in this and survive, but it's not, everything cosmetically needs to be done. And there is, I'm guessing, a porch. Here's what we were looking for. This is a great wholesaler. Great wholesaler. When you get to see this stuff, it tells you what you need to know. I mean, if you're a cash buyer and you're looking at a deal and they give you this much information, that is a good looking condenser unit. You know, it's not from 1980. It's a newer condensing unit, if I'm not mistaken. Hang on, we've got a little video here.
On how we walked through the
Oh,
property.
is that the video that we watched? Is that the video we watched? Let me see, where are we? Because I think there was only one video. Yeah. Okay, so based upon what we saw, let's jump into our model. Cosmetic. Remember, the way we use the model is a 1 is like 100%. A 0.5 is like 50%. And as we think about it, and we think about what we saw, how much of that did it need? It needed 100% of cosmetic. And so when we put that in, you're going to see that's a $20,000 number on a 2,000 square foot house. Why? Because I got, again, in the variables, which you can change, I've got $10. If you find out that in your area it's costing you 11 or 12 for that type of cosmetic, then you're probably going to want to change that variable to 11 or 12, and then your model will give you a better number. General repairs, I think this has to be pretty high too. Oh, excuse me. We don't know. Let me just see what that would give me. 0.5. That house, because it's in such rough cosmetic condition, I'm going to assume it needs a number of repairs. And then the things we don't really know. Well, oh wait, before we go, they also give some really good information here. Forgot. Roof needs replacement. What do we do in our model? If the roof needs replacement, we put a 1 here. Needs to be replaced. That's 16 G's on a 2,000 square foot house. We might be able to get it done less than that. And if you think you can always just like put a 0.7 and say you're not going to get that thing done for 11. Just put in a variable that gives you closer to what you think it might be. So for now, I think 16 seems high for that house. So I'm going to take that down to that 11. And then let's see. HVAC, as we saw, looked good. Do your due diligence. Look, they didn't spend that much time trying to figure out everything wrong with this house. And so that's why they have to say that. But it tells us that each of these things is something to be concerned about and something that we don't know as we look at it. So just let me remind myself. Plumbing, electrical, foundation. They all said do your due diligence. So plumbing, let's just kind of like put 25%. Nothing for HVAC. Electrical, let's put 25%. That gives me 3,500 in electrical. All right. So basically at this point, I'll kind of say, I don't know, foundation, it looked like it needed some foundation. So, like, let's say if it did. Let me go back and just put my eyes on this house again. Wait, that's not a great shot. Let me look at that shot right there. There we go. There's our subject. Yeah, see, that roof wouldn't be 16. It's too simple. It might even be 10 or 9. Foundation, it does look like a slab. So, yeah, I tell you what, I think what I might do on this is take that roof down to more like 10 G's, because I think I know guys that could do that roof at 9 or below. Foundation, I don't know, man. I mean, if you know foundation crews, you can probably get that house done for maybe, yeah, even 5 or 6. If it needed a full foundation, right? And so, man, I don't know yet, because there's just so much unknown. We'd need to get out there and look at the property, obviously, but and then you'd start to fine tune these things. So let's just take what we have here We spent 20 minutes. Fazio's probably spent 20 hours, going through this property, getting it under contract, marketing it, all the things that they need to do. And so there's a lot more that they know about the property than we do. And one of my next steps would actually be to call them and say, hey, I'm a cash buyer. I'm interested in this. Let's talk about these things I don't know so I can complete my model. And so right now, this model is pretty loaded down with expenses. It's got a $50,000 rehab budget. That's pretty high, but every surface in the house needed to be redone, and we don't know, and the roof needs to be redone. So it's so much of the inside and outside of that house needs to be redone. It's just a huge project. I'm not comfortable with anything below 50. On a 2,000 square foot house, man, I have just seen them suck up $45,000 or $50,000 just like a sponge soaks up water. So that's kind of where we're going to go. I have been too small this whole time. Let's go to 125. Sorry about that if you've been squinting. So here we are. Now, let's, for the educational purposes, let's go over here and look at what this model is telling us now. In perfect condition, the house is worth 94 a square foot or 189. They were saying 216. And so they had a higher ARV than we did, which is pretty typical with a wholesaler deal. And then we saw lots and lots of repairs and some that we're putting in just because we don't know. And that tells us that out of that $94 a square foot, it's going to take 26 a square foot to get it to that value. So one thing that people need to realize is it's not that we're paying less than the house is worth. We're paying what the house is worth because it needs all these repairs. And so don't let people tell, oh, my grandmother's house or my dad's house is worth 189, and you say, no, it's not, because it needs $50,000 worth of repairs. Then it would be worth 189, So, but as investors, we need to make a profit. And so let's look at the formula. It's ARV 189 times 70%, which is the discount factor. We're trying to make about 10, 12% on our money. We need to be at that 30% discount factor to hit that. And then we subtract our repairs. Our cash offer on this property would be $80,832 based upon what we know. And if we go back, well, they want significantly more than that. It's easy for me to pick apart this deal. That seller probably wasn't willing to sell for, what did I say, $80,832. Now, in some cases, a wholesaler may have bought it for $80,000, and they believe they can sell it for $20,000 or $30,000 more than they have it under contract for. And sometimes that's possible. I don't think it's possible with this house. I think this house needs too much work. I think the ARV is going to be 189, and I do think it's going to need 50 G's of repairs. So 80,000 would be my cash offer on it. But again, I'm not picking apart these guys, they got this deal under contract. We didn't. And so that's a, quite an accomplishment. And they're always bringing properties to us with pictures, sometimes videos. We really thank the people at Fazio for being our victim today. And we encourage you to reach out to Jade at 214-646-9646. If you're a serious cash buyer and you're looking for properties in North Texas, we see a lot of their deals look really good. So this one I think is a little rich for me. But maybe if you lived in Wichita Falls and you know some people that can repair and you're just trying to get it to rent ready, and then if you're trying to get it to rent ready, maybe you can come in here at, oops, that's not right. I meant for 0.5. Hang on. 0.5 instead of 1. Dadgummit. What is wrong with my keyboard? 0.5. So at 0.5, I'm only going to spend 10 inside on cosmetics, which can be really hard with that 2,000 square foot space. Now I can pay 90, but that was a full cosmetic all day long. Property's worth 80. Anyway, thanks guys for joining today. I just want to remind you to go to cashoffermasterclass.com. Click on Get the Calculator. You'll be joining our community. This is a new thing that I've started, new YouTube channel. Well, the YouTube channel's been around for a while, but I didn't do anything with it. Now I am. And then Cash Offer Masterclass is a new effort here. We want to create a community of like-minded investors who are smart about how we evaluate real estate, and we make good deals, and that's how you make good money. You make your money on the purchase. You make your money on the cash offer. If your cash offer is not right, if it's too high, you could buy a property, spend months on it, and lose money. And that's not real estate investing. That sucks. So we don't want that. Anyway, thanks for joining me again today. Hey, I just want to remind you also, I was interviewed by Investor Fuel. And so you should go by their channel and check that out. I have no idea how you find me once you're over there, but there it is. Anyway, I'll post that link in the description down below so you guys can check that out. See what I said about AI. Because AI is going to replace all this stuff that we're doing here right now. We're using spreadsheets and stuff. Within a year, I think Cash Offer Masterclass is going to be using an AI application that you guys will be able to get access to as well. So that's what we're building here with Cash Offer Masterclass, a community right now, free training, free tools, and then ultimately, maybe I'll sell a course or something. I don't know. Right now, I just want to share what I know and build a community and have some fun. So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Thank you to Fazio for being the victim. We look forward to the next episode, and go to Cash Offer Masterclass right now and sign up. I want to get to know you better. Take care.